So here we are in the bay just outside the entrance to the natural harbour of Tayvallich. You can see the entrance to the harbour. Don't take the one on the right, take the entrance straight ahead here. Over here it's shallower and dangerous, so this is the formal entranceway, and it's marked on either side with a green and red marker poles. This bay outside is not a bad anchorage. Of course, there are various lobster pots, and I have found once or twice getting caught up in stuff like debris on the bottom, old ropes and things. But it's basically a sheltered anchorage. You've got the shelter of the hills behind. So as you're coming in by boat, this is the way you would come in through the entranceway into the natural harbour. Now there is inside the harbour there is a reef that runs across, and we'll see signs of that once we get through the entranceway. So basically you stick to port as you come in. Well, you can go straight ahead, but eventually you'll stick to port and avoid the reef. The mooring buoys are generally private, although there are some available for visitors. The ones that are for visitors are distinctively cylindrical in shape. They tend to be painted navy blue, and not all of them, but they are all cylindrical in shape. So the visitor mooring buoys are cylindrical, that's how you can tell. So here we are, we're coming in through the entrance. I'm getting blown a little bit to the side with the dinghy, but now you can see over straight ahead, you can see the bits of the reef sticking out of the water. The tide's on the way out at the moment, so it's getting lower. These reefs are almost hidden totally by water when it's the high tide. Lovely little setting. Now I'm just going to go up to the first visitor mooring and let you see the shape that the visitor moorings have. Quite distinctive. So now you can see this reef. That's the main part of it. It runs right across the harbour, so steer well clear of that. There's a marker down here which we're going to go round, and coming in you'll keep that marker to starboard. Of course, there's my boat over there. So here's a mooring buoy, 4 visitors, a friendly boat. There she goes. And as I say, there's the reef over there. We're going to stay to port of this marker, and then we'll go into the main jetty. I think the visitor moorings are on a first come first served basis, and there's a little honesty situation for paying. I'll show you the sign when we get there on shore. There's water on the jetty, and there's electricity available if you pre-organise it. I'm not sure what's involved in that, because I've never needed to use that. And there is a waste facility, small skip on the shore just by the jetty. So here's this marker that you stay to port of. In other words, you pass this marker to starboard. So everybody coming in and heading for the jetty would take the exact route that I've just taken, and then get around this marker, and then after that we can turn and head for the jetty. And there's the jetty over there. And just turn up the speed a little bit. So normally you would come down. Here. Beautiful little village. Absolutely idyllic. Picture postcard. Now this jetty is used by the Jura ferry, mornings and evenings. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, the end tie on the jetty on both sides as we're looking at it is reserved for the Jura ferry. And likewise at about 5 o'clock, I think it is, in the afternoon, that same Jura ferry comes in and uses that. So that's not a place to tie up overnight. And it's limited in terms of the numbers of boats that can be accommodated here, but at least it is something. So this is the jetty. Dinghies get left on the most inshore part, as you can see here. So we've a slip there, double slip here, double slip here, and the rest is for dinghies. So I'm actually going to tie my dinghy up on the other side, so we'll just take a quick scout around the other side before I tie up. Plenty of moorings, but as I say, only the ones with cylindrical buoys are the ones for visitors. All the circular ones are privately administered. So on the other side of the main jetty here, there are no real fingers other than this one for tying up the dinghies. And as I say, this part right here is reserved for the Jura ferry, so don't come in and stay there. You'll become very unpopular very quickly. So this is the place to tie up the dinghy, either side of this little finger. And that's the cafe up there, which we'll see in a minute. So as you can see, it gets a little bit busy here for tying up the dinghies. There's always plenty of them. And likewise on the other side is the dinghy tie-up situation. So here's the main walkway, the main jetty. I keep mentioning the end on the right is reserved for the Jura ferry. We have water, we have electricity, and we have the info for the pontoons in terms of payment, which I'll just stick with for a second. I hope that's possible to read. Little barcode scanner so you can sort yourself out. Not a place for big long boats, but you can get in here. So here's the other side. You can see the chain of little islands that form this reef right the way across the harbour. You definitely don't want to go anywhere in there, or you're going to be in big trouble. Not the nicest of days today. It's a little bit cloudy and it's probably going to rain later. It was raining earlier, but you can see, very nice little place. I often go up that hill over there, which isn't very high. It's only a few hundred feet high, and from the top of that you get a fantastic view down to the harbour here, and it's good exercise for me. Keeps the blood flowing, keeps me going. And there's plenty of depth here. I'm not sure what the depth at low tide is, but I've had my boat in I've had my boat into here and I'm 2.1 meters draft. Admittedly it was a high tide when I came in, but I think there's enough depth at low tide too. Here's the basic safety information. Hi there. There's always one trolley available here for getting stuff on and off. And here's the pontoon charges. I'll just take a quick gander at that. Hopefully you can read that okay. Honesty box at the top of the pier, or there's information for a direct bank transfer. Garbage facility, so you can drop your garbage in the skip here. And this is the main street of the village. Such a lovely little place. I always love coming here. Here's the shop and the coffee shop. Separate entranceway for both, but I believe they're owned by the same person. The hours vary, so it's worth checking the shop hours on the internet. At the moment we're in summertime mode, so here's the hours. And there's a coffee shop, and we'll pop in there in a minute or two. Nice little veranda outside. There's the jetty where we arrived. Nice little indoor seated area for when it's raining. And that's the shop through there. Hi there. I got permission to do this from the owner. So.
That's okay.
And we'll just take a little look inside the shop while we're here. So a well stocked little shop. Lots of staples. Some goodies in the fridge. Cold drinks. More staples. Little vegetable section. Mandatory booze section. And various other things.
Lovely, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, Kiana. Thank you. Bye.
So this is the small inn. A few parking spaces. some outdoor tables, some sheltered outdoor seating, a small restaurant room and a bar. I generally eat at the tables in the bar. Nice little wood stove. So after a little tour of Tayvallich from a sailor or boater's perspective, this is me heading back out to Sorsa, my boat, my home, and it's just lovely here. I recommend visiting. I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video and sticking it out to this point. Please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. It really helps the channel, and I can build up the channel and release more videos like this. So as I say, please like and subscribe and give me a helping hand. Thanks very much. Have a good one.